This guy has no limit. He's a visionary that takes action, and that's why he has a great impact on the community, influence Orbis, and the real estate business.
Donc, peu importe que vous ayez des questions à propos de l'entrepreneuriat, à propos du leadership, vous avez besoin de tips en immobilier, de tips en digital marketing, c'est la personne à aller voir et c'est quelqu'un qui, en fait, sa porte est toujours ouverte.
So working with Thierry has made, he has brought a lot of creativity in every project, in every conference. He's a great speaker and also someone with a long-term vision.
Hi guys, Thierry Lindor, real estate expert and entrepreneur. You are right now in Griffintown, Remax Griffintown. But more importantly, forget where you are. I want to know where you're going to be once you listen to the Nick and Jimmy show. I'm telling you, if you miss the episode that I'm on, love Tatiana, love Jamie, love the boxing champs, but you know what? If you're an entrepreneur, and you're looking for success, tips, actionable advices, you're not going to want to miss this episode. Point blank period. Look, I'm getting so excited, I'm turning my hat. I'll tell you something. By the time you're done with this episode, you're going to be a champ. And you might think that I'm bringing too much energy out. I think I'm not bringing enough. One thing's for sure. By the time you're done with this episode, you'll be inspired, informed, more importantly, influenced.
Welcome to the Nick and Jimmy show. On today's episode, we have Thierry Lindor. Thierry, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to start this show by going, hey-oh! Now we can keep going. Now we could go.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. Yep. My name's Thierry Lindor. I'm an entrepreneur. I think entrepreneur is being galvanized left and right, but if you go at the core in the etymology of the word, it means to start something. I like to start movements, not businesses. I like to start literally things that bring value to the people around me and my ecosystem, and that's what I do. I founded Remax Griffintown. Those are the ones that I'm a bit more known of. I had a telecommunication company. We got a deal on Dragon's Den that also did some wave 5-6 years ago. And then more recently, Influence Conference. It's like a Canadian TED Talk, but for millennials, for movers and shakers, hustlers and grinders, where we show people, we inspire, inform, and influence them to do better with themselves and the people around them. Yeah.
Awesome. And your recent event with Malala, right?
Yep, we recently did Influence MTL 2018, our second edition, in literally 17 months.
Awesome.
Yeah, we went from having Gary V. Shout out to Gary. If you're watching this, you need to come on this show, bro. So Gary V first year, 3 months later, went to Toronto because we wanted to go to the world and not wait for the world to come to us. Grant Cardone, shout out to Grant as well, Casey Neistat, Charlemagne the God. And then we did micro conference, smaller conferences that led all the way to producing Malala in Montreal, which was, 3,100 people, an amazing event.
Amazing.
Yeah, good times.
And how in the world did you get started in this industry? Like, tell us about your journey as an entrepreneur. Was it difficult? Did you have to go through struggles?
Yeah, like any entrepreneurs, and I think anybody watching this amazing show could agree, financing is always the toughest part. If tomorrow, let's say we lived in a communist kind of government and you were given $100K to start a business, I think you'd see tons of people going into entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The startup capital is definitely a problem for everybody, but coming from a real estate background, I've been doing real estate for 15 years, owning my own office for the past 4 years, going on 5 years. I had capital. My capital was my real estate. So I was able to go on my lines of credit to start my own business. So I never, until the Malala event, I never had any dollar from the Quebec government. I never did any startup program, none of that shit.
No OPM.
We can curse here or we can't curse?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Real talk.
Keep it real. Conversations.
Okay, last time I asked this to Sebastian Sperano. You know this guy?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Say, hey, we could curse here. He goes, yeah, you could curse here. Anyways, so yeah, I never got any public funding, nothing. Everything I ever got, I had to go on my own real estate line of credit to start the movement I did. And so far, so good. I always say, well, don't wait for people to put you on, put yourself on. And yeah, that's how I got started. And the reason why I started this is because I would go to these conferences all over the world, and they're expensive. Let's face it, you guys are business owners. In the merchant processing business. I'm sure you guys go to conferences maybe in Vegas, Arizona, all over the world, and you pay $500 to $1,000 a ticket, And I would never see the youth. I would never see diversity. Shout out to my people from Greece. Hey! So I would never see diversity, and it annoyed me. It annoyed me that I would always see the same either, classic 45-year-old American men or Quebecer men, Canadian men, and wouldn't see enough women, wouldn't see enough youth, wouldn't see enough color. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna start an affordable, cool as hell conference. And that's how we started Influence Conference.
And what's upcoming?
Oh my God. Am I gonna really release this on this show right now? Nick
As
and
you
Jimmy
wish.
show.
As you wish.
We're working on, here's the tough part. After producing an event with Malala, it's like, where do you go from there, right? How do you bring it to the next level? And we're fairly sure, I'll give you guys a hint to the community. It's one of the most impressive actor / influencer / entrepreneur in the history of mankind, in my opinion, and somebody that has consistently reinvented himself. So that's who we're working on. More in a close range, most likely Grant Cardone in Montreal in the next couple of months. We'll try to get you guys to get a quick interview with him. That would be
Sure,
dope.
that would be
Nick
awesome.
and Jimmy show, and then so Grant Cardone in direct immediate timing. Charlemagne the God as well in February, if all goes well. Angela Rice, Sister Angie, and then maybe DJ NV for a little after party. It's always you gotta work hard, but you gotta party hard and have fun as well.
Awesome.
And then moving towards the summer, this big entrepreneur. Yeah.
Good.
I remember your speech at the Malala event.
Okay.
Stay with me when you said, you grew up with friends of yours that died.
Got
and
murdered,
got murdered,
Died is an understatement.
Exactly.
Got murdered, yeah.
And it really inspired you to be different and do
Yeah.
better things. Tell us about that.
I was born in Hochelaga Maisonneuve. I like to say I became a man in Saint Michel. And Saint Michel has changed, Hochelaga Maisonneuve has changed, but when I was growing up there, you were either an athlete, you were a musician, or you were in gangs, if you wanted to survive, And a lot of my friends, they made choices, they made decisions, and some lived by them, some died by them, some got murdered by them, and or ended up in jail. So a lot of my friends, I played professional basketball. I played ball as a kid. I'm not the tallest guy, but I played basketball. And when I played professional basketball, a lot of my friends that I grew up playing basketball with would pass away. Literally, I would get invitations to funerals and closed casket funerals at that. And closed casket funeral is, for those of you watching that might have never attended one, I hope you never do. It's when the body is usually the face is so dismembered that you can't show the body, right? So 5 bullets to the head,
Oh my God.
9 bullets to the back and the back of the head. So a bunch of very violent death that you don't wish on nobody. And at the end of the day, it's choices they make, And when I came back, I said, you know what? I don't think I want to traffic human beings. I got better values than that. I don't think I want to traffic drugs. I see what they're doing to my community and what they did to my friends. I decided to traffic real estate and save my life. Trafficking real estate was the best freaking decision I ever made in my life.
What age was that?
I did my first real estate investment at 19. I became a real estate broker at the age of 22, 23, and then never looked back. I found a passion. I found something that I was good at. I think my number one skill is not selling, it's communication. I know how to connect with people,
Yes.
establish relationship. I like to say I'm not transactional, I'm relational. And building relationships has been my greatest skill by far.
Early stages in your career in real estate.
Yeah,
How tough was it?
holy shit. That's a good question. My first year in real estate, I'll never forget this. I was working with one of the best offices in the world. My boss name was Rosario Crivello. Shout out to him. I think he's still alive and his family's still doing real estate. He was a real old school Italian man. I did real estate in St. Leonard. So the this and the that and the this and the that and whoa. And my first ever pitch, I tried to convince an old couple, Italian couple. You know those duplexes, those classic St. Leonard duplexes? I remember knocking at the door. And they opened it and say, "C'est quoi? Qu'est-ce que tu veux? What do you want? C'est quoi? They thought I was a Jehovah's Witness. Because I was dressed up, I was young, I looked like I was 12. And the guy thought I was selling him something about religion. And I told him, no, I'm not selling you anything about religion, but what I could promise you is if you give me 5 minutes of your time, I might be the best thing that ever happened for your pocket. And I got his curiosity, he invited me inside, And I'm still friends with this old couple to this day. They still haven't sold their property, but I'm fairly certain that the day they do, they're gonna be calling me. So that's my first vivid memory of real estate. But it was tough. You get in somebody's house.
Rejections.
You're not looking like them. Let's face it. I'm pretty brown last time I checked, right? They were super Caucasian, super Italian, right? And they opened their mind. And I think that's the greatest quality you could have as a human being. Forget entrepreneurship. Having an open mind, trying to put the ignorance, because it's that, right? Ignorance is bliss. They grew a certain way, and you know, letting somebody that doesn't look like you inside, feeding him. They gave me like, you know, pastries and coffee and cannolis, exactly. So yeah, I think being an open mind person is the greatest quality you could have. And they gave me a chance. They referred me tons of business, and then from there my career took off. Yeah.
Good. You seem like you said, you're not into the transactional business.
No.
You're more of a people person.
Relational.
And I'm sure you meet a lot of people. How do you separate? And I'm sure you get approached with a lot of opportunities all the time. How do you separate the authentic people from the BS?
That's a great question, man. I'll tell you one thing that I do systematically. When I meet people, I ask them, how can I bring value to you? Okay? Maybe I'm giving my tip away, but most people that say, I'll keep you posted, let's collab, end up being long-term relationships. Because I think it's something in their values where they don't feel comfortable maybe asking right away. The people that tend to ask on the spot for something used to, from my experience, ends up being very transactional. But that's part of my speech. When I meet people, I always say it's not who you know, it's who knows you, right? I know Barack Obama, he has no freaking idea who I am yet, right? So at the end of the day, when I meet people, and sometimes they'll, hey, I follow you, hey, you know, all that stuff, and they'll come up to me, and I try to make sure right away, literally, I'll tell them that, like, that's awesome, how can we collaborate? How can I bring you value? And the people that tend to say, I'll get back to you on this, or yeah, let's do this in the future, and then they'll DM me later, those tend to be long-term. The people that ask right away, well, as a matter of fact, I need you to do this, and that, usually ends up being a bit more transactional. Yeah. Personal
development.
Huge. I'm a big fan of reading. I think readers are leaders. The biggest people I've met in my life read tons of books.
How many pages per day do you read?
That's a good question. And that was one of my tip. Actually, my father's a writer, and he used to give us a tip. Go start with 10 pages a day, 5 pages. Start with whatever you can. But read every day.
Get into that habit.
Consistency, that's it. Consistency, and you see it in sports, right? What's the difference between Crosby and the guy that's on the bench and on the third line that's gonna get cut? He's consistent with it. Of course he's talented, but even talent, you know, does it beat hard work?
That's right.
You know,
but if you have both, you're unstoppable.
Correct. And when you have both, you have Kobe Bryant. When you have both, you have Floyd Mayweather. When you have both, you have these icons in sports. You also have icons in entrepreneurship.
That's right.
You have icons in Obama. Everybody that talks Obama studies speakers. He studied the biggest speakers, whether they were doing good or bad, the mannerism, everything they were doing. So I'm a big fan of self-development. I just got into yoga. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually doing really well. I also got into meditation, which I was not doing before. And I think when we're young, like, you know, 20s, 25, like...
We're too cool for school.
Yeah, yoga.
You do that at home?
Like,
Yoga at home?
Yeah, like I home, meditate at home, and it's literally starting to like change my life. Like, I'm not good, I suck, downward dog, and all that stuff. Like, I'm terrible at it. But you know what? I'm consistent. I'm consistent. The meditation even more. I tried also to do positive reinforcement. I get up in the morning every day and I say, literally, I'm gonna be kind, I'm gonna be strong, and I'm gonna be a leader today. And I say this to my kids, I'm gonna be kind, I'm gonna be strong, and be a leader. You ask my kids today, 3-year-old son, Shiloh, you tell him you're gonna be what? He's gonna tell you that's what he's gonna be. I think words have power, repetition and consistency is key. And I literally wake up in the morning and I say that to myself. I also ask myself, what if it works? I think sometimes as an entrepreneur, we're like, I got a meeting, and now every time I face a hurdle, every day of my life, I have this mantra that I say, what if it works? What if my hard work pays off? What if my vision comes to fruition? And what if it works? What if my hard work pays off? It's done magic for me. It's as if the universe listens to you. I know it sounds tacky. I don't give a shit. It works for me. It got me to where I am today, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. But yeah, that's something I think entrepreneurs tend to forget. It's huge. They should focus on self-development and wellness and all of that. We have to take care of us, right?
Of course, yeah. So you were mentioning about daily rituals.
Yeah.
What's your today like, for example? What time do you wake up in the morning?
I wake up every day, 7:30. I used to wake up earlier with the kids, but thank God I got a partner now that is, not now. I got a partner that's able to do that part. So 7:30 is gonna be latest I get up. I started to get back into working out after playing basketball for all these years. So getting that little routine in the morning of working out. I usually take my first appointment like at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm doing appointments all the way to at least 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I used to wake up and do my emails, and then I read so many places that it was actually not the most productive thing. I started to do something that works actually, where I tell people if they want an answer for their email, they have to email me between certain times. So I block off time to answer emails instead of waking up and just, because if you wake up, you guys know, you're gonna get in your emails and you're never gonna get off your freaking computer, right? Next thing you know, you got an appointment.
You're all over the place.
Yeah, you're all over the place. So now I try to structure days and for example, cool podcasts, interviews, radio, media, like early afternoon. Now it's pretty much fixed. It's working. Why? I'm right after food. I'm up. My peak energy is up. Another daily routine that I started to do, I don't eat as much as I used to. Because I used to eat like a freaking maniac, like restaurants all the time. I try to eat once or twice a day. Yeah, meal prep once or twice a day max. And I hydrate myself a whole lot, trying to take care of my body more. And it's worked out very well. I have great energy and I'm happy where I'm at, yeah.
Thanks for sharing. If you go back in time, what are a few things that you would change?
That's an amazing question. If I would go back in time, I would have made certain mistakes sooner. I think that, yeah, there's some mistakes that I made in the past, let's say 5 to 7 years, that I wish I would have done a lot earlier. And the mistakes are with money. Some people don't want to say it, they're with money. Yeah. You know, any other mistakes beyond money, unfortunately, in my opinion, is just not a mistake, it's an experience, right?
Absolutely.
The part that it becomes a mistake is when you start to make sacrifices with finance that could benefit your family, right? Never at the expense of my family, meaning they're not suffering, but the way I see it, I have kids, every dollar I make belongs to them, you know what I mean? So definitely some mistakes I wish I would have made sooner. I'll give you an example. Getting a new mortgage when I could have just refinance some of my properties and buy the property cash, right? And then leverage that into something else and something else and something else. So little mistakes here and there. You live and you learn. Yeah, but that's pretty much what. And also, I would have taken partners sooner. I used to always want to do it by myself. So Raymax Griffintown, I gotta do it by myself. I can do it anyways. And it's not ego. With me, it's never ego. It's if I could do it, why don't I do it, right? But I see you guys, and I see how 2 heads are better than 1, right? And I'd rather have 50 million, 50% of 50 million than 100% of 10 million, right? So I think, and I'm starting to do that now with influence. Shout out to Steve Daniel, shout out to Sufyan, shout out to Elias that are now like active partners. Other partners that I can't name yet. We're raising money right now. We're expanding. Take on partners. Don't do it by yourself. You're gonna go a lot further.
Teamwork makes the
dream freaking work, baby.
That's right.
Hey-o, big time. Yeah, so definitely I see you guys go. I see a couple of people. I think of my brother Jamie Benizri also that started by himself. And if you talk to Jamie, he'll tell you the same thing. Man, I would have done it with a team. You know what I mean? I'll be the leader, I'll be the face, I'll be the marketing. I don't even care about being a leader anymore. Like I literally don't care. I'm past that age, but I would definitely start. I see you guys. You guys don't see them, but there's a team right now.
Absolutely.
There's a team of like ninjas in the back that are helping this show happen. That's what you need to do. Like be collaborative, don't be competitive, right? And that's what true influencers do. I think true people of influence collaborate. Entrepreneurs and people that have like these stupid mindset, they're competitive, right? Be collaborative, open your mind to working as a team. Yeah.
And obviously at the beginning as an entrepreneur, People talk about balance.
Yeah.
Did you have balance, or do you have balance with your personal life?
I don't have balance. I could definitely admit that I have zero professional, entrepreneurial, and personal balance. It's rough. I'm sacrificing time with my kids, my partner. It's honestly, it's tough. It's not easy. It's a choice. Am I gonna regret it? Probably one day. I think that, you know, making less money every year, but seeing how your kids are doing every step of the way, that has no price. I think I'm just too dumb, young, and full of cum maybe to just realize it. But I'll realize it one day. I you know, and I hope it comes sooner. You know, I'm a millennial. I'm young. If it could come sooner and I could realize that these moments matter more, and I know they do. It's not that I don't value them or think they do, because my best version of myself is when I'm with my son, my daughters. I don't think about business. You know, I'm generous with my time, generous with my love, generous with what I give them, and I don't expect anything from them. Whereas when I'm in business, well, I'm in business, right? So,
Absolutely.
you know, you got to be relational, but you also can't get screwed, right?
Of course.
So, yeah, I think I need to work on that balance portion. Great question.
But a lot of entrepreneurs are facing the same thing. A lot of
How do you guys do it? Let's reverse this. Taking over this show. How do you guys balance this? I need some help here. How do you balance
I
it?
don't balance.
You don't?
No.
Team no balance.
No balance.
It's tough to balance.
Oh, he
because-
became red. You guys might not see it on the camera, but he's red right now. So, oh shit, he's turning burgundy. Jesus Christ. We need somebody in here. Okay, so how do you do it?
It's tough. Well, first of all, I'm very grateful because I have a supportive wife at home.
That's the key. I think that's also very important.
Key.
She understands it.
There's no pressure. You gotta be back at 5. No, even if I come back at 11, she knows I'm not.
What's her name?
Yasmin.
Yasmin? You're a f***ing gem. You're a gem. You're a f***ing gem. All right, keep going. Sorry about that.
That's pretty much it. Very grateful that we have a newborn, 9-month-old.
Hey!
Actually, the godfather.
Double fucking hey yo. So you guys keep the business and the family
He's
close.
officially a part of the family.
That's amazing, man.
But here's a question to you now.
Yeah, go ahead.
What drives you?
My drive is my seeds and my deeds. I always tell people that I want to be, and call it ego maybe, but I want to be remembered by my kids, my seed, and my deeds. What did I do? What did I accomplish? And my biggest accomplishment won't be bringing Malala to Montreal. You know what I mean? I genuinely believe, and I keep saying that everywhere I speak, I think I might not be the next Justin Trudeau, might not be the next Elon Musk, but I genuinely believe that if that person is in Montreal's youth right now, they will have listened to me some way, somehow, and I will have sparked that ignition. So that's what drives me. Every day going to bed knowing that, hey, today you inspired somebody. Maybe my daughter is gonna be the next Prime Minister of Canada, you know what I mean? Shiloh might be the next Elon Musk, so that is what drives me, yeah.
Let's talk about noise. Let's talk about haters. Yesterday we sat down with Otis Grant. I don't know if you know Otis.
Otis, man, you're a legend, bro. You're a legend, man. I love this guy.
And he mentioned how he won a belt in London. I think it was in London.
Yes.
Surrounded by haters.
That's right. it was not his hometown.
Yep.
Everybody was booing, but he eliminated the noise. So how important is to eliminate the noise when there's haters trying to put you down? You're never gonna make it. You know what? Why don't you just get a job and so on and so on? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna tell you something. The biggest haters are sometimes the people you love the most. And by that I mean your cousins,
Yep.
your mother sometimes. It's like, maybe you should get a normal job, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta learn between, in my opinion, the difference between people that hate, right? The real haters that don't know you and they would like talking about you. Who the hell are these two guys? What are they doing? Blah, blah, blah. Haters that are real haters, contrary to people that love you, they just don't know how to communicate with you. In my opinion, they're just doing projection. Those are people, hurt people, right? I found these always telling us, hurt people. When you're hurt, you want to hurt other people. And nobody that is cool with themselves and happy with themselves would hate on anybody doing well. Especially if it comes from a good place, right?
Insecurities.
Yeah, it's projection. So me, haters, I need them, right? I sold my Tesla. I used to have a Tesla. They were the fuel, the electricity in my car. Like when you hate me, I love it. I love it. Contrary to Otis, I don't have the capacity to block haters off. I'm not gonna lie. I actually engage with them on social media. Why? What does this say about you? Why do you feel like that? Tell me more. And the next thing you know, they're like, oh, you're a good guy. Yeah, you're a good guy in the end. Well, yeah, you're just a douchebag, but I'm not a bad guy. You just don't know me, right?
Exactly.
So you need haters as fuel, in my opinion. And for the people that love you, that just don't know how to communicate with you, and in reality, it's ignorance. They just don't understand. Our parents come from like, you go to work, you get a government job, you get the benefits, and then you retire with hopefully a decent watch on your wrist, right? Mm-hmm. That's the generation they come from. We come from a generation where we want to do 6 projects at once. Yeah. Think about this. You guys are going to retire and tell your kids, not the company you started, the companies that you started, like the ventures that you did. So now the bar is high for them, right? So for me, haters, I'm not going to lie, I'm not blocking them off. I hear them. I just don't give them too much importance.
Fuel.
Exactly. You're fuel to me. I'm not gonna do it, watch me. Watch me do it. And hurt people. I remember that, and that helps me to deal with people. Sometimes people come aggressively, right? Him, this and that, and those are hurt people, right? I've been called slurs, racial slurs, frickin' this, frickin' that, I don't care. These people are hurt.
Keep on going.
Yeah, keep on going. They're fuel for me. I'm gonna not prove them wrong. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah. And Jimmy, you asked a question before off camera about multiple ventures at the same time. Do you focus on one?
Yeah, that's good. I work. That's a great question, Nick, and Jimmy did ask that off camera. I
give Jimmy the credit.
Yeah.
It's a Jimmy show.
So you guys are perfect together, man. Jesus. At the end of the day, I try to work in increments of 4 to 5 years, and that comes from one of my mentors, Francis Tilmy. Just sold his company for $320 million.
Wow.
And he works in increments of 7 years.
We gotta have him on the show.
You do.
Look it up.
One of the,
I'll make it happen.
Watch me. This guy is a beast. He's amazing. And Montreal's best kept secret. Young Haitian guy, worked for Mr. Miller, one of the biggest tech guy in Canada, billionaire. Wow. He's been at the table of negotiation with Microsoft, Bill Gates. He was a black guy running a German company full of German guys, right? Took it to $320 million, one of my mentor, and he works in increments of 7 years. Every 7 years, if it's not where it needs to be, he moves on. But he makes sure that in 7 years, he gives it his all. And I may call it my ignorance or my youth or I work in 4 or 5 years. So now I did Remax Griffintown. I tried to buy Remax Quebec. You guys wouldn't sell, at least not to me. And now I said, move on. Like if I can't be the best version of me, I bought Griffintown. I tried to buy downtown Montreal. And the ultimate goal is to buy. Why would I be in a company where I can't be the best version of me? And if I can't do this, if I go work for you guys are the bosses, I want to take your place. Not to steal your job or I want you to retire in Miami while I run your business. Because if I start on the phone for you, selling, collecting, whatever the hell I'm doing, I'm trying to get to that level where I'm able to say, Nick, Jimmy, go retire. Pay me a good salary, give me equity in your business, but you go and retire. You should have managers like this. Absolutely. You should have guys that are like driven to be you, not to freaking cut your face off a la Silence of the Lamb and put your face on. Not that they want to take your life, but they should try to aim to do as good as you and take your business to the next level. 100%. Because if you have another idea, you're going to implement them in your business model, whatever you start, right? Absolutely. So to me, if I buy Remax Griffintown for a neighborhood, I want to buy downtown, and eventually I want to buy Quebec. And if Quebec is not willing to sell, or if I'm told in a polite way, you're to this, you're to that, I'm not gonna jump into what they said, but then I'm out. And I'm not out, I still practice real estate. I'm an expert. They can't take that away from me. But now I have brokers that work at my office. I train them, I give them the best knowledge possible. And as far as me, I'm taking a step back from the active daily. Yeah. And I sold most of the shares, and who knows what's next in real estate. I'm still gonna do real estate, but might be under my own brand, might be something else, might be a partnership in the works, we don't know. And Influence MTL, working on another project parallel. But I try to put eggs in a couple of baskets, and then I test it by creating communities. So I'll go on social media, and I'll create the Nick and Jim show, right? The Nick and Jimmy show. And then I'll start a merchant account business, and I'll start a real estate business. and then I'll wait to hear what the market says. If they like the Nick and Jimmy show, I'm going all in the Nick and Jimmy show.
They love it.
For the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 4 or 5 years, monetizing this, going to Bell Canada, video trial. I'm saying, hey guys, here's a pilot. It's been doing well. Here are the numbers. Here's how much we're making per episode, right? And if it's not working that well, I don't eliminate it, but I just don't put all my energy into it. So I leverage that in order to make sure that the other businesses can work in the ecosystem.
So going back to, you said you're a real estate expert. 2 questions on that.
Yeah.
How's the market, number 1?
Yeah.
And what do you recommend to new buyers?
Yeah.
Should they get a house or condo or triplex and live inside?
Great question. How's the market is the question that everybody asks. Anytime you're in real estate, you get to barbecues, weddings, you're at the table eating. So you're in real estate, how's the market, right? And the answer that anybody that's been in real estate long enough is going to give you is it depends on what you're looking for. That's the number 1 answer. Anybody that says the market's good is just trying to get a client, right? Me, I say it depends on what you're looking for. If you tell me, Terry, I'm in the market for 25 units and above. Well, I'm going to tell you, newsflash, the best years of return for 25 units and above are almost long gone. There's still deals, but there's so many people looking for these deals. You're fighting a price battle that can't be won. So you're going to buy buildings that are not bringing you the 8 times revenue, 10 times, 12 times, 15 times that our parents talked about, that our grandparents talked about.
Or like in the US.
Or like in the US, right? Whereas if you're in the condo market right now, downtown Montreal, you can't go wrong. You see condos that are appreciating 25 to 30% per year. Is there a lot of them being built? 100%. But keep in mind that the Asian market that was never coming to Montreal, they were only going to Vancouver and Toronto.
Now they're coming to Montreal.
Now they're coming here because they got taxed 15% in Vancouver, got taxed in Toronto, and now they said, you know what, we don't speak French, but that. 15% is 15%. And now they're coming to Montreal. And the Asian community, just to give perspective, they're big on one major thing, is basically school. Education is massive. The Asian culture in and of itself is always about bettering your knowledge, bettering yourself. So anytime they're gonna have a chance to buy in any place in the world, they're always gonna focus first on the downtown core, because you got the McGill, you got the Concordia, gotta be central. And that's part of their culture. Afterwards, they're gonna go in the periphery, TMR, and they're gonna go to Brassard like we see very aggressively. So it depends on what you're looking for. And for first-time buyers, to go back to your question, Jimmy, I would focus on duplexes. Why? They don't build them anymore. We're in a game where everybody is going vertical. There's no more land. It's over. You gotta go to St. Dorothy, you gotta, think about this, f***ing Mirabel. Shout out to Ray.
Ray Jr.
Junior.
Ray Jr. killing it. Going gang on that ass. Killing it in Mirabel. When we were growing up, Mirabel was farm town.
That's right.
You went to pick freaking strawberries there. Now you got a fucking maniac, because that's what he is, a visionary maniac, an inspiring maniac,
Outlets.
a freaking entrepreneur, a Walt Disney kind of maniac that said, I'm gonna bring people to this place. Ray Jr., hey, yo to you. Hello. So here's what it is. He goes to Mirabel because you still have horizontal land. And he's able to do tremendous things. And he's developing a city. He built a city, right?
He really did.
We're going this way now. Look at the downtown core.
You have to buy airspace.
We're going to New York game, LA game, Chicago game, Boston. We're buying air rights, right? So what are they not building anymore?
Duplex.
Duplex, triplex. You know why? Because they're not going high enough.
So where's a good area to buy those?
Southwest, baby. Pointe Saint-Charles, Saint-Henri. Places that you wouldn't live 15 years ago. Hochelaga Maisonneuve, starting to creep up on the prices. But I'll give you a good hint. Shout out to my Greek people. Shout out to my brown, lovely people. My Pakistani brothers and sisters, my Indian, my Sri Lankans. You want to go to Park X, baby. Park Extension is the next explosion. Forget Plateau, it's gonna murder Plateau. Park Extension is diverse, so it's gonna attract diverse money. It's bilingual, French and English, and all the Greeks are gone. So Greeks are gone. So now you got tremendous opportunities, and guess what? Electrical train is coming, baby. It's planned. Look it up. It's voted. My man JT in Ottawa, he signed, sealed, delivered. The billions are coming. You're gonna see a beautiful metro station that's gonna take you in 7 minutes. You're gonna be at the Dorval Airport.
Wow. 7 minutes.
7 minutes. From the time that you're in the train and it goes, da-na-na, 7 minutes later you're in Dorval.
Wow. I did not know
It's
that.
gonna jack up the
Yep,
prices.
it's
man.
going Brossard, Champlain Bridge. It's stopping in Nuns Island if you could afford it.
That's where I live.
Griffintown, awesome. Point Saint Charles, Griffintown. It's gonna cross through downtown, underground. It's gonna hit the brand new campus of l'UDM, Université de Montréal. It's gonna hit right next to Parkex. It's gonna go west to the airport. So cop yourself a duplex or a triplex in what I like to call Brown Love Central, now that my Greek people are no longer there, and you're never gonna regret it.
I love it.
And you know what? You better call one of my brokers to buy it, all right? So yeah,
And the value is going to go up after the Champlain Bridge. It's done.
to Nuns Island?
Down South Shore, downtown, or whatever.
Here's what. When they announced the Champlain Bridge, a lot of people missed the opportunity to buy. Because a lot of people are like, oh my God, traffic's gonna kill it. But then what goes down must go up, right? So yes, I do think the South Shore is gonna gain a lot of value after the bridge is finalized. I think anything that is close to downtown also, right? So the Verdun of this world. Imagine if the Expos would have been to Montreal back in the days when they were talking about doing the casino project with that was Verdun, right? So it didn't happen. Verdun still has a lot of abandoned stuff and a lot of land. I think there's a lot of stuff in the work at the city. And people are passing brown bags.
Do that again.
Guys, so I think good stuff is gonna happen in the Southwest, but I would not neglect Parkex. They're trying to change the name, Milex and all that bull. It's Park Extension, man. Stop it. It's like Little Burgundy, now it's Griffintown. You guys know that he's in Nuns Island. Go look at his tax. It says Verdun.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
It's a fancy word for gentrification 101. All right? So people go and they say, where do you live? Verdun. No, I live in Nuns Island, right? And that's cool.
High horse.
Because we buy into it, right? I live in Saint Laurent. Hell no, I live in Bois-Franc, right? It's all the same. Just make sure you're there.
Saint Laurent's mini Beirut. Right?
Saint-Liban. That's what I call it. Shout out to Saint-Liban. Saint-Liban, it's Lebanese Central. Gotta love them.
Perfect.
How did you transition? Because man, you love real estate. I can see
I'm passionate
you
about
love
real
it.
estate.
How did you transition from real estate to now doing events and being an influencer, brand?
Yeah. That's a good question, honestly, Nick. And I always say that I don't consider myself a realtor or a real estate. I don't have a license as we speak. I run an office. That's what I do. My quality is communication and marketing. So I could buy, sell, anything. I just happen to be into real estate, but my real talent, I generally think relies and lies into knowing my strength. My strength is communication. So if tomorrow us three start a restaurant, I promise you that we'll have the best brand, we'll have the best marketing strategy, we're gonna create beautiful content with your ninjas and my ninjas, and guess what? The restaurant's gonna work. If we could have decent food, not even excellent food, decent food. The thing is, I'm not a restaurant guy, right? But I bring value to any table that I get to as far as communication, marketing, and getting the community, building the community around the businesses that I started.
I love the confidence.
Yeah.
Man. I love the confidence.
Yeah, and that's why we did. The conference never started until I built the community first. When I got to 1,500 people following, I was like, I'm on to something. I said, you know what? Let me get Gary Vee here. Then when I brought Gary Vee, we went to straight 2,500 people. Now we're approaching 5,000 people on Facebook. Throughout our platform for influence, we're at 10,000 people following us. And we have ambassadors, like people that are waiting, when's the next event? You know what I mean? And that's what you want. The same way if we open a restaurant, you want them to wait for the brand new menu. You want them to wait for the new ice cream that you're gonna come out to. With real estate, well, they wanted to wait for the grand opening of Remax Griffintown. What's the next video these maniacs are gonna do, right? And I think it's all about content creation.
And believing in yourself. You believe in yourself a lot.
key.
You're very confident in yourself. It's
100%. And I gotta applaud you guys, because you guys are in a merchant platform business, which is like super not sexy. Sorry guys, like it's boring. But you're creating content. which is key.
Absolutely.
Content is king, right? And the consumer is God. And you're creating many ambassadors and many gods of the content you're creating, and you're controlling the narrative. So hats off to you for thinking outside the box and doing what so many people would never have the guts to do. Look at this, equipment, cameras rolling.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Most people don't succeed because they're afraid of what other people think.
I agree with that. And Gary would, what Gary says that this is the number one reason why people fail. Opinions of others, what are they gonna do, and it's true. They say the number one fear in the world is to speak in public, right? It's why? Because of the fear of other people.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, since starting my company, Influence Conferences, I'll tell you what the number one thing people wanna do is speak on stage. So the number one fear is to speak in front of people. You have no idea how many people DM me and tell me, Terry, I'm ready to go whenever you want, put me on that stage. People want a voice, they wanna talk. They wanna have their own voice. Hence why I created my nonprofit, My Voice Matters, which aims to give a voice to marginalized communities and
Good
people,
for you guys, man.
yeah, and people that have a voice, that should have a voice. So yeah, I think that's point on. People care too much about what people think, and the successful people don't give
Opinions are like everybody has one.
You guys are gonna have to zoom on my face, put like a little GIF. This rewind, put a DJ noise. Say that one again. I'm gonna borrow that one.
Opinions are assholes, everybody has one.
Gold, gems. This is the blurb. On today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one with Thierry Lindor. That's dope.
Social media.
Social media.
Talk to us.
Social media is the only media. Like Gary says, nobody cares about TVA anymore.
True.
Nobody cares about.
It's a new TV.
Even TVA is realizing. Shout out to them for Québécois for realizing that they gotta get into the digital space. Listen, I did a conference yesterday at Rogers. Shout out to Rogers. I love you guys. And Rogers, at the conference, I gave them a stats. I'll ask you the question. How many views, video views on Facebook on a daily basis? You get an answer each. Whoever gets the answer right, literally, on me, you're meeting Grant Cardinal.
You're talking about total. Is this the Nick and Jimmy show or
no,
what?
across the globe, just to prove to you guys, social media is the thing, forget TV. How many views do Facebook videos get every day,
Okay.
every single day across the world, across the globe?
100 mil?
100 mil? No.
7 billion.
Holy guy.
The whole world.
8 billion.
Ooh, let's do it.
No, you said 7.
Yeah, it was close. Come on.
We'll make something happen. 8 billion views a day. There is no media in the world that could claim to have this amount of views. Mind you, it's impressions, it's not reach, right? Impressions is the amount of time it goes on your feed. We know that. Reach is the amount of time you reach individual people. Who gives How many times do you watch TV and you don't even look at the TV? That's impressions all day.
Yeah.
They get 8 billion views per day. 80% of all online traffic by 2021 is gonna be mobile videos.
Got goosebumps.
So where are you if you're not creating content on social media?
And this is where the Nick and Jimmy show comes in.
There you go, baby. There you go. They might not be a Tout le monde en parle. They might not have that platform, but mark my words. I was with Gia 2 weeks ago. They know. They know. It's coming to an end. It's squeezing the lemon, of course. But even they are. Tout le monde en parle now is taking snippets of their show and they're putting it on YouTube. They used to block it, and now they let it go on YouTube. Why do you think? Because it gets them views. It gets them people. You guys, trust me. I don't care if you get 1,000 views, 2,000 views, 3,000 views. Stick with it. Like Gary says, one of my mentors, he started Wine Library. There was 21 people listening, of which 15 were his families.
And now?
It took 1,000 videos. 1,000 videos for him to explode. Today, the guy gets millions of views, gets
Sponsors.
paid to just be himself. He has his own sneaker, the first entrepreneur, as far as I know, to get a sneaker named after him. And it started with guys doing what they're doing. Even less, he was doing it like with a camera, he would press record and just talk wine. You guys actually bringing people, inspiring people. I would add though, because there's a lot of podcasts out there doing it, make sure that your audience gets actionable tools. Like just storytelling, social media, storytelling is huge. People want to get like tips, gems. After I hang up today, I listened to Thierry on this show and I know now that I have to invest in content creation videos. I gotta find these ninjas in the back. I gotta create content. And also, do like I did. When I started Raymax, they didn't like that I was branding myself. Well, guess what? Out of here. I did it anyways. You know why? Because I own my own freaking brand. The brand of Thierry Lindor is his own person. I'm not owned by Raymax, I'm not owned by Louis Sick, I'm not owned by nobody. So in branding myself, I'm able to be on this show today.
Love it.
Whether I own Raymax Mercantile or not. So don't forget to brand yourself, whatever you do, push your company, brand yourself. Not to become a superstar, so that people know the people behind the business. Because in 2018, when I give you $1, I was doing a merchant account deal with a company I'm not even gonna name on this. I'm canceling it today. I'm going with these guys because I know them. I know their stories. I know where they come from. I know that they work hard. They got families to make sure that they take care of. They're producing content, so your values are aligned with mine. I'm stopping what I'm doing, I'm going to you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, storytell, brand yourself personally, get digital, go video all the way. If you're not video, you're gonna die. All your businesses, whatever businesses. In the next 3 to 5 years, digital companies, marketing companies, video are gonna be the biggest thing out there. You guys are gonna have to pay these guys a lot of money. And that's why I decided to bring everything in-house at Influence. We create our own videos, everything you guys see, branding, marketing, it's all in-house because they're gonna be expensive. Everybody's gonna make the shift towards social, digital, online platform, and video is gonna be 80%.
Commercials.
80% is gonna be by 2021, videos.
Absolutely. And where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Awesome. Next 5 to 10 years, I'm gonna have a venture with these two guys, some way, somehow. I don't know what it's gonna be.
God willing, absolutely.
God willing, we're gonna do something together on a big scale. Beyond a collaboration with you guys, I see a mastermind group or a network of really cool, open-minded people that don't have bias towards LGBTQ communities, that don't have bias versus black people, indigenous people, which it's up, but we're on indigenous land as we speak. A group of mastermind people that are super inclusive, bringing everybody to the table, not putting anybody on the menu, and saying, hey, let's do cool stuff. And then when we buy a building, everybody puts in 10K, let's buy a building together. When we start a restaurant, and I think that's where we're going. We're going towards community-driven kind of ventures. And I think everything I'm gonna do from here on is gonna have that in mind. If it's not community-driven, I don't do it. If I start a restaurant, we're feeding the homeless every Friday. From 5 to 9, you're getting a free meal. If I start a barbershop, we're cutting homeless hair. We're cutting kids' hair around Christmas time for free. We're getting free haircut. If you're a single mother, your kid gets a free haircut. You have to have a social conscience.
Love it.
That's my opinion.
So when Nick said social media, if somebody wants to follow you, how can they follow you?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Got a YouTube channel. I don't put as much content as I should. I really did in the beginning, but we're going to grow it. But mainly the ones that I really myself get involved in on a daily basis is Instagram and YouTube. Those are the ones that I'm, in my 4 years, I'm putting a lot more attention. Facebook is capped at 5,000, so we have to do a page now. We're at that point. And Twitter. But I answer every DMs, not on Facebook. Facebook, I get a little bit of help from my team. We manage this in-house. But if you guys DM me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, I answer everybody. If you take the time out of your busy day to write me, I should be a decent human being and answer you. And I think that even when I get as big as I will get, because I have faith in my abilities, I think I'll still take the time to do that.
Amazing.
I think it's important.
Never think you're too big to do the small things.
That's exactly it.
I love you. You're lucky you love a hot woman. I would marry you right now. All right?
Somebody that wants to brand themselves and become a brand just like you are.
Yeah. I think the number one thing is to really, really know your talent and your skills. Like, don't lie to yourself. Like I meet guys that are like, I talk to them, it's like, well, I'm a good basketball player. Are you professionally good or are you like part-time good, right? Know yourself, know your strength. And once you know those strengths, if your strength is drawing, draw. I did a personal consultation session with a guy. Now he has more followers than me just by documenting his journey of drawing. And it's not about the results. I'll give you the best example. I meet tons of realtors. Terry, I want to brand myself like you. And you look at their profile and it's like, sold, vendu, look at my you. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. I love this. Nobody gives a shit about your sold houses and I'm top. Nobody gives a shit. Social media people care about cats and dogs, kids, accomplishments, all right? And food, all right? See, they're laughing because it's the truth. Nobody gives a shit that you sold a house in 2 minutes. Nobody gives a shit. You're putting your sign, tell me I'm not lying. How many likes and comments do you get and shares? Nobody gives a shit. So you want to brand yourself, know your truth, know your values, and live your truth. What I mean by that, if you're a black or brown person, live your truth. Don't try to be white, be who you are. If you're white, don't try to be black. If you're from the LGBTQ community, be that. That's your strength. Different is dope. Take that. Different is dope. In 2018, your differences is your strength. Your differences is your DNA. Live your differences to the fullest and maximize on it. And speak the truth. If you don't know about something, have somebody at the table. Let's say you're in real estate. Bring somebody at the table, do a 5-minute video, ask them a question. Somebody out there is gonna be thankful that you asked that question. Real estate guys are the worst at branding themselves. Most entrepreneurs are at branding themselves. If you're a geek, do geek. Yeah. If you're creative, do creative. The creative guy I met with, Terry, I'm bad with the camera, but I could draw my ass off. So he drawed, taped it, and then he accelerated the process. The guy grew his channel, and now he's starting to talk, and he's commenting, right? I met a little kid the other day. His father brings me a little kid. What do you like? I like gaming. Tape yourself. You know how many gamers make money out of tape? Right?
Yeah.
Do that. Live your truth. Know what you're good at. Brand yourself around your qualities. Don't try to, because people know when you're fake. And when you're fake, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You'll never influence anybody by not living your truth. Live your truth.
Amazing. How important is to build very good relationships?
Relationships, like I said, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. If you are transactional, you're gonna get rich. I promise you that, it's a fact. There's very transactional people that get rich. If you are relational, you're gonna be wealthy. And by wealth, I mean wealth emotionally, wealth spiritually, wealth in love, and trust me, you're gonna get wealthy financially as well. It's gonna happen. I'm not in outbound mode with any opportunities. Now opportunities are coming to me. You know why?
But in the beginning, you were outbound. You had to grind it. Cold calls.
Thank you.
Like Cardone said.
I was the cold call machine. And then I worked on myself instead of working on a brand that wasn't mine. And now the phone's ringing nonstop.
Right.
You guys call me, I answer the call. I'm like, hey, Nick and Jimmy, I'm in, baby. We didn't know each other before 30 days ago. Let's tell your audience the truth.
That's right.
You guys came with the right energy. You came outbound mode, said, Thierry, we're collaborating. Come here, let's do a FaceTime. What did I say? Let's do it, baby.
Absolutely.
Let's make it happen.
But one of the reasons we approached you, we love your content, but at the same time, we believe in our project and ourselves.
I love it.
That's key, in my opinion.
And then to answer this, you believe in the team also.
Of course,
Nothing happens without them.
Without them, there's no Nick and Jimmy show.
There you go.
Of course.
There you go. And when Radio Canada is gonna come with the big bucks, Videotron's gonna come with the big bucks, remember them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I know you guys are like that. But sometimes, guys, entrepreneurs, we tend to be a bit like, oh, I did it. Nobody does it by themselves.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know who helped Donald Trump, somebody helped Donald Trump, all right? I don't know who helped Elon Musk, but somebody helped Elon Musk. Nobody does it themselves. And just know that as well. Live your
Absolutely.
truth, brand yourself, work with dope people that do dope different. I like that I see diversity here in your team. Super important.
So Thierry Lindor, once again, thank you for taking time out of your busy
Thank you,
schedule,
guys.
man. We appreciate you. We respect you very much with what you've done. You started with zero. Look at you. Look at you now. Man, you're a very humble person. There's other people that wouldn't even take time to be here, right? So thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a special edition of the Nick and Jimmy Show with yours truly, Thierry Lindor, but more importantly, with Influence Orbis. The community supports this movement. Follow us on social media. Follow Influence Orbis, myself, My Voice Matter on all platforms, social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But more importantly, guys, if you want this show to keep on going, support it. When you like something, don't be a freaking hater. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna click at the bottom, right or left, they're gonna figure it out. You're gonna thumbs up, comment. I'll answer each comments that come on their page on everything I love. I'll take the time to answer every comment. And if you feel like this brought you value today, don't be selfish. Sharing is caring. Remember to smile. Have a great week from the Nick and Jimmy Show. Hey! I've built a successful real estate business starting Remax Griffintown, grew it from 3 brokers to 32, just sold it, close to 68 brokers. And then I turned my head to inspiring, informing, and influencing people through conferences. That's what influence is all about. Hopefully you guys get influenced by this episode, and more importantly, click the subscribe button and all that stuff. Follow these guys, they're going somewhere special, all right? Take care, remember to comb your hair, and have a blessed day and stay influential. Hey!